Hey everybody, Mr. B here with Montezuma Martial Arts Academy out of Dolores, Colorado. So today I'm joined by Mr. Judah Marty, and we're going to be talking about our blue to green belt hand strikes. These are going to be the hand strikes that kind of finish off the hand strike requirements that we will have for people that are testing for black belt in our style. Now, today we're going to go ahead and talk about the ridge hand. Let's give him a right guard stance, Mr. Judah. Now, when we're throwing a ridge hand, what we want to do is we want to throw our hand out straight. So it's almost going to look like we're going to miss the target. We're going to start to make sure that we fold this thumb across. And then what the ridge hand does is it misses and then strikes through. So when we throw our ridge hand nice and fast, boom, it's almost like a hook kick, but with our hand. Now, the big thing that we're trying to focus on with our ridge hand is that we're trying to hit with this triangle right here. So the bottom portion of our knuckle here, right where those two carpals meet, and then the top part of the thumb knuckle. And again, we want to shoot and come back. Shoot and come back. Now, the next one that we do is our rake. Now, when we're doing our rake normally, we just like to do our rake up and down. Now, Judah, when we do our rake, are we working on scratching, or do we want to get them with more of our finger pads?
More finger pads.
Why do we want more finger pads?
To activate more nerve endings.
Ah, and how do we do that? What's the magic word that does that?
More surface area.
More surface area and friction, right? So yeah, when we're doing our rake, a lot of people think that it's kind of like this back scratching thing, like a kitty cat claw, but no, actually what we're doing when we rake, we're trying to hit with the very tips, the pads of our fingers. So that way we activate, we have more surface area coming in contact with our opponent, and we're also getting a lot more friction. And like Mr. Judah said, it activates a lot more nerve endings in the skin. Now, when you do rakes, like I said, we practice up and down, but rakes are fun because they can go anywhere they want. Rakes can go across the eyes, they can go on a 45 pattern, okay? They can go pretty much anywhere. Yeah, you can rake up if you want to, but they're a pretty versatile move. But the big thing to remember is don't scratch, okay? Fingertips. Ready? Let's show them a couple of rakes. 1 and 2 and 3. Now, our other one is our 2-finger poke, and we do our 2-finger poke a little wonky. We're not thinking like the Three Stooges poke in the eye kind of situation. What we're actually doing is we're going to reinforce our pointer finger, our index finger, with our middle finger. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we want to give a slight bend to our fingers like so. What this is going to do is it's going to allow us to have a little give. If we end up missing, and I say I poke Judah in the top of his skull or something silly like that, I don't want to jam my finger by trying to keep it straight. Now, the other thing that we do is I like to curve my 2-finger poke into position. So if I'm poking with my right hand, I want to poke my opponent in their right eyeball. Judah, why do we twist into position?
Drive along their nose ridge.
To drive along their nose ridge, okay? So the reason why we want to do that is more chance for success. So if Judah's facing me and I go to 2-finger poke him, instead of having to rely on being able to get straight into his eye, I'm going to go ahead and let the bridge of his nose guide me into position just like so. And I do that nice little subtle twist so that I can catch and then find his way into the nose. I can make some mistakes there. And that's the big thing that I like, is that I can cover up some mistakes by simply just getting those fingers to touch that nose, and then I don't have to be 100% accurate with this 2-finger poke to find my target. So yeah, so when we fire, again, we're trying to get my right hand into that right eyeball, and I just switch it in, just flip it into place, boom, and boom. And so that, we've got our 2-finger poke, we've got our rake, we've got our ridge hand. Judah, what am I missing? That's okay, that's okay. So, ridge hand, rake, 2-finger poke, spear hand is the final one that we need. So our spear hand is very similar to our 2-finger poke in the fact that we're trying to bend our fingers slightly to give ourselves a little bit of give. And we demonstrate our spear hand vertically just for fun. So when we fire, boom, fire, good, and fire, or horizontally here, which tends to fit in a few more places. But I just like the demonstration of the vertical spear hand because it follows the same shoulder lines as our snap punch or our heel palm or our rising elbow. When we spearhand vertically, we're just practicing that extra shoulder motion that we always work on. And then again, give your fingers a little bend. Some people will be really big sticklers about making sure that your fingertips are together. I find that when I try to keep my fingers together, that I don't get the tension in my fingers and in the palm of my hand that I like. And so sometimes my spear will kind of splay my fingers out a little bit like so, and that's totally okay, because really all I want in a good spear hand is tight fingers and a nice tight palm, so that way when I spear, my strike is good and solid. Here I just don't feel like, when I'm feeling it, it just doesn't feel as strong to me. So we spear, boom, we spear, good. If you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure to tell your friends, share this with anybody that might have some value that they can get from just looking at our karate moves from a different perspective. Judo, let's give him an asai.